As we begin this celebration, I would like to explain some general rules so that everyone can fully enjoy the program. With this spirit in mind, I request that you please silence your cell phones, stay in your seats, and keep the aisles clear. For this event specifically, our widely communicated time, place, and manner policies apply. Berkeley is a free speech university, but that does not give you the right to engage in any action that disrupts the events or prevents the speakers from being heard. Please do not engage in any action that disrupts the event or prevents the speakers from being heard during the next 2 hours within Haas Pavilion. Individuals who are disruptive will be asked to leave. These individuals may be ejected from the event or have other actions taken, and campus members may be referred to the appropriate disciplinary process. Now, I would like to welcome each of you to UC Berkeley's commencement ceremonies to celebrate the class of 2025. I want to especially acknowledge all of the parents, caregivers, extended family members, and friends for all you have contributed to your students' success. Most of us do not achieve big accomplishments alone. We do it with the help of the village around us. So today's celebration is not just about our Berkeley graduates, but it is also for the many of you who provided encouragement, made sacrifices, and shared love for your student to be here today. This is a very special moment to celebrate all of our graduates for this major milestone of their lives, and also to honor you who helped make this possible. Please stand to welcome the graduating class of 2025. I now have the pleasure of introducing the UC Berkeley Jazz Choir to sing the national anthem. I ask you to please stand as you are able. Please join me in welcoming the Jazz Choir.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets went there, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave.
Thank you, UC Jazz Choir, and good morning, graduates. My name is Dylan Sachs. I'm a dual degree student in the Management, Entrepreneurship, and Technology program, and I'm the Vice President of the 2025 Senior Class Council. As part of the Californians, the Senior Class Council is dedicated to creating meaningful experiences that make every graduating senior a proud Cal Bear for life. Our mission is to strengthen class unity, elevate school pride, and inspire seniors to stay connected with Berkeley through the end of college and far beyond. After today's ceremony, we hope you will join our vast alumni community and stay connected to the incredible network of peers, mentors, and opportunities that will continue to support and inspire you throughout your personal and professional journey. Now, it is my pleasure to introduce our student poet, 2025 classmate, Ivan Acevedo. Ivan majored in English and is a first-generation college student from Inglewood, California. He is the son of Salvadorian and Mexican immigrants. His work centers on race, migration, and family history, and is shaped by his role as co-president of Barbell at Berkeley and by studying abroad in Berlin and Tokyo, where he explored identity and belonging. Please join me in welcoming Ivan.
Thank you. Dear Mom and Dad, I learned mornings from you. Laces whispering tight, coffee cup lids sealing hope, the door opening like a promise to the dark. Before I had words, I watched you step into it. A Mexican mother making sure I wanted for nothing. A Salvadoran father taking the second shift because we mattered. That's how love introduced itself. Not loud, just diligent. Inglewood taught its own soundtrack. Helicopters sewing circles among the clouds, crosswalks chirping to no one at 2 a.m. When I couldn't see a future, I saw silhouettes. Yours, my brothers, my sisters, moving through exhaustion like it was one more door you refused to close. So I ran forward into classrooms where I translated the world for you and for myself, into lecture halls where my history didn't sit quietly, into countries that once felt imaginary, Germany, Japan. Each stop, a stamp, a receipt with your initials on it. You were my first scholarship, the quiet investors, overtime as lullaby, the leftovers as strategy, forgiveness for breakfast. You gave a kid from Yukon Avenue a life big enough to outgrow the block, to dream past survival and step toward futures you worked for long before I dared to imagine them. I'm not letting you go, and you're not losing me. I'm learning to carry your love as the man I've become, not the boy I was. Same tether, longer hallway. Wherever I go next, I'll take the house's quiet with me, the way the lock turned, the way the kitchen light kept watch. And if anyone asks how I made it, I'll point to that hallway light, to shoes drying by the heater, to two silhouettes walking toward morning, until morning learn our names, your names. Everything I've done, all that I will ever do, I do in the spirit of you. Love, your little peach boy. Thank you.
Thank you, Ivan. Now it is my pleasure to introduce our student speaker, James Antonio McCloy. James majored in history and has applied to Stanford University's PhD program in history. James was a student volunteer for Barbara Lee's senatorial and mayoral campaigns. He studied moral philosophy at the prestigious University of Cambridge, and most recently, studied covert intelligence operations and espionage at the University of Oxford. James focuses his historical research on the intersection between the civil rights movement and covert operations. Please join me in welcoming James.
Good afternoon, class of 2025. My name is James Antonio McCloy. Before I stood on the stage, before I ever walked into a lecture hall at UC Berkeley, I was sweeping floors beside my mother, a janitor, and pulling weeds and hauling soil beside my father, a landscaper. As a first-generation transfer student, I am here because my parents pushed a dream they themselves were not offered. And I know I'm not the only one. All across this pavilion are students who closed restaurants at 2 a.m. and still showed up for 9 a.m. classes right on time. Students who experienced the hardships of anxiety and depression and had the courage to seek help without letting go of their studies. Students who worked through community college, not because it was plan A, but because it was the only door open, and they had the ambition to walk through it anyway. We are not the exception at Berkeley. We are the evidence of what Berkeley was built for. And so today, I want us to ask not just, what did we achieve? But rather, who are we becoming? Because we are entering a world where injustice is rising, history is accelerating, and neutrality is not the choice we should make. That is why today is not only a celebration, it is a recognition of our supreme responsibility to be zealous advocates for justice. Those aren't just words to frame a speech. They are a declaration of identity. We studied history, not just to memorize it, but to understand how power moves and how people move it back. We studied inequality, not just to write essays, but to dismantle it. We graduate not just with a diploma, but with a sincere promise to act with honesty, integrity, and respect for others. They are a shining lodestar for us to follow as we transition from students to alumni. Honesty in a world drowning in misinformation. Integrity in a time when success is too often divorced from ethics. Respect not just for people like us, but for people nothing like us. Because if there is a child in Oakland who is unhoused, or an adult in Sudan who is displaced by conflict, it is our burden to share, no matter where people have been unjustly silenced, it is our responsibility to give them a voice. As the great Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. once said, injustice anywhere is a threat to justice everywhere. That is what it means to be a zealous advocate for justice, not performative outrage, not speeches about change without the labor of change, but the daily, often invisible work of giving a damn even when no one is watching. People will tell you the world is too broken to fix, that inequality is too permanent to challenge, that history only bends toward the powerful. But we did not come to Berkeley to learn inevitability. We came here to learn possibility. We are not just the inheritors of history, we are its authors. The next chapter is not written. The page is open. The pen is in our hands. So the only question that will matter long after today's applause fades is this: what will we write? A chapter of comfort or of courage? A chapter of complicit silence or of impassioned solidarity? A chapter of unjust inculpability or of genuine accountability? A chapter that explains the world as it was, or a chapter that transforms it into what it must be? Class of 2025, let us be the graduates who do not look away. Let us be the graduates who do not shrink away from that paramount responsibility. Let us be the authors of a new history worthy of those who built our dreams without ever seeing their own fulfilled. For we are and must always remain, we the people of UC Berkeley, zealous advocates for justice. The world is waiting for our next sentence. Together, we will write the next chapter of history. Thank you, Fiat Lux, and go Bears!
Wow, thank you, James, for that inspiring address. Good morning, I'm Shay Goner, the president of the senior class. It's a privilege and an honor to be with my fellow classmates on this celebratory and exciting occasion. I hope these past years you have been here at the #1 public university in the world. We're as exceptional as the school is. This is your moment. I am pleased to introduce our next speaker, a true Golden Bear and the first Berkeley alum to ever serve this role, Chancellor Richard Lyons. Chancellor Lyons, in his own words, is all about Berkeley and getting more so. His first introduction to Berkeley were around the age of 11, when his older brother was an undergraduate at Berkeley attending football games and other events. Chancellor Lyons received his Bachelor's of Science from Berkeley in 1982, and like many of us, his undergraduate experience changed his life. 6 years after getting his PhD elsewhere, he had the opportunity to come back home to Cal. Prior to becoming chancellor, he achieved success by earning the Distinguished Teaching Award, Berkeley's highest teaching award, and serving as the dean of Berkeley's Haas Business School. Over the most recent 4 years, he has co-founded the Berkeley Changemaker program in his efforts to emphasize a sense of agency in students and equip them with tools to spark change in our world. It is programs like these, with inspiring founders, such as Chancellor Lyons, that make UC Berkeley the #1 public school in the country. We beat UCLA this year, yes. I have gotten to know Chancellor Lyons and his family in a bit of a strange way, in the middle of the woods. For the past 2 summers, I've been a staffer at UC Berkeley's family camp, Lair of the Golden Bear. This camp has changed my life. It's allowed me to build roots in the alumni network, make friends for the rest of my life, learn bear safety training, and get excited for what being a Cal Bear after school ends looks like. While I've only worked there for the past 2 summers, the Lions have camped there for several years. And up in the beautiful mountains of Pinecrest, California, where time stands still and true connection thrives, I have seen and known Chancellor Lyons as a father, an involved camper, and an inspiring speaker. I've had the honor to hear his secret talent of singing and guitar playing at one of our Creekside hangouts 2 summers ago with his daughter. I've heard him speak earnestly around a small campfire about his hopes and dreams for student involvement and superior achievement, not in a setting polished for cameras or for posts, but earnestly, out of the bottom of his heart, where he has a deep love for Cal, the students, and their futures. Class of 2025, it is my honor to introduce Chancellor Richard Lyons. Thank you.
Thank you, Shay, and thanks for the words that we heard. It's a declaration of our identity was one of those wonderful phrases among many. On behalf of our university and our entire campus community, I offer my heartfelt congratulations to you, members of this remarkable graduating class of 2025. Completion of an undergraduate degree at Berkeley is an extraordinary accomplishment. We could not be prouder. Well, this is a day to celebrate your achievement, one of life's great milestones. There is no time like right now to stand, please, and express gratitude to all those people, all your family and friends who helped you arrive at this place. Please give them thanks. We take this moment to celebrate and thank those who supported you, who stood by you through thick and thin. Let's also take this moment to express gratitude, respect, and appreciation also for our university's faculty and staff who have risen for you and together with you to overcome challenges, to marshal Berkeley's incomparable excellence, values, and mission in support of your dreams and aspirations. They, too, are creators of knowledge, possibility, and opportunity. We thank them as well. Your decision to enroll at Berkeley was a choice whose benefits and impact will be lifelong. You've immersed yourself in a unique campus culture built on a foundation of ascendant values and attributes. I'm talking about freedom, the freedom to express yourself, to be yourself, to speak, freedom to speak and to learn and discover, about developing the ability to thrive in the midst of constructively colliding ideas, to be open to diversity of perspective, having the humility needed to respect differences without letting them divide us, embracing constant striving and never ceasing to question the status quo, knowing deep inside yourself that there has got to be a better way to do things. This is Berkeley. These values and attributes, this culture, support far more than world-class teaching and learning where every student can thrive. They are essential elements that give life meaning, engagement, and impact. And yes, these are the very values that underpin a healthy society. And so now, during a time of change and challenge for higher education across this country, these are the foundational values of our university that I believe must be defended. To do so will require a sustained, concerted effort, and for that worthy campaign, you are now uniquely equipped to be ambassadors, evangelists even, not for a particular point of view or ideology, but for a way of being, a way of learning, of living openly, that contributes not just to strong universities, but also to strong communities, strong democracies, strong societies, to coming to your own conclusions, issue by issue. In this period of profound societal division, you are uniquely suited to apply all that you have learned and gained to one of the highest possible purposes: to be builders of bridges across the divides that threaten to tear us and society, striving to understand and engage with views different than your own, to empathize with those who view the world through a very different lens. The great Berkeley sociologist, Arlie Hochschild, from whom I happened to take Sociology 1 when I was here as an undergrad, talks about empathy walls. Empathy walls that divide our country and serve as obstacles to deep understanding of another person. Walls that make us feel indifferent or even hostile to those who hold different beliefs or whose childhood is rooted in different circumstances. Amidst growing division, she cautioned about, quote, the increasing reality that we simply don't know each other, which makes it too easy to settle or dislike and contempt, end quote. As an aside, for those who took the Brilliance of Berkeley course this spring, Professor Hochschild was among the featured faculty. I dropped in on her lecture in Wheeler and was overcome with gratitude for all that she taught me more than 40 years earlier. I was transferred back to my days in your seat. Dialogue, discourse, openness to, and curiosity about the other. These actions and inclinations benefit more the greater good. They fertilize our growth and development as human beings. As Professor Hochschild has said, quote, the English language doesn't give us many words to describe the feeling of being out to someone, the feeling of reaching out to someone from another world and of having that interest welcomed, end quote. And when we do, she noted, something of its own kind, something mutual is created. What a gift, end quote. So be wary of echo chambers, of toxic discourse that too often dominates social media. Be skeptical of those who divide the world into simplistic categories of good and evil, black and white, if only because the reality of our world is, of course, far more complex and far more interesting when we open ourselves to its shades and its layers of gray. While we may be in the midst of a tumultuous and challenging era, the behavioral and social sciences teach us that unsettled times also have the potential to facilitate tremendous learning, growth, and transformation, both personally and societally. So while these times may be perilous, so too are they times of creative ferment and possibility, making it prime time for you, our newest alumni. Why? Because Berkeley graduates, as Berkeley graduates, you are uniquely prepared to meet the challenges and opportunities that await. Because another of our unique and distinctive attributes is the extent to which Berkeley, animated by our belief in and commitment to agency. The notion that through the discovery, development, dissemination, and discussion of knowledge, we individually and collectively have the ability to make this world a better place, to create a life of purpose and consequence. This is Berkeley. That agency, the agency that Berkeley has developed in its graduates for more than 150 years, is a precious resource. And while agency is the raw material of leadership, it will take more than that to leave your mark. One of the lessons I have learned over the years is the absolute necessity to leave your, thank you, ego behind if you want to lead from the front. The agency you have acquired gains influence and impact when you think and act beyond yourself, when you have confidence without arrogance, when you question and challenge your own status quo, refusing to settle for good enough, when you open yourself to constant striving for something that is more, something better. Be forever coachable. Please be forever coachable. As Berkeley graduates, there is nothing beneath you and also nothing above you. These are the attributes that make Berkeley unlike any other university, and you, our alumni, unlike any others in the world. Now more than ever, our world needs all that you have to offer. As the beneficiaries of that unique Berkeley education and experience, as change makers, committed to advancing the greater good. Today, as you stand at one of life's great crossroads, take a deep breath, pause, reflect, dust off your shoulders, and consider the road you have traveled and all that you will carry with you from Berkeley into your personal and professional futures. Namely, you have been taught how to learn by great teachers. You value truth and know it must be protected. You believe in science. You know that conventional wisdom and the status quo can and should be questioned to find a better way. You know how to thrive, not just survive, amidst diversity of origins, identities, and perspectives. You're able to adapt and persevere in the face of challenge and hardship. I can only hope that you share the gratitude I feel for these defining attributes, these values, these aspirations that form the foundation of all that Berkeley is and all that it stands for. There is a phrase I love, you've heard me use it before, you can't be what you can't see. Berkeley has strived to help you see the potential and promise in yourself that was not visible before and that you now have a much better sense for. I know that was the case for me when I graduated from Berkeley and for literally hundreds of thousands of fellow alumni who came before us. This is one of our university's true superpowers. You are now part of a unique global community of Cal alumni. It was only a few weeks ago that I heard from a first-year student's words, captured that very essence, that ties, those ties that bind us all together. And that student said, "We illuminate each other at Berkeley." That's what she said. Exactly, we illuminate each other, we lift each other. It's a beautiful idea, an essential reason why Berkeley is more than a place, it's a promise. May your years ahead be richly rewarding. May you enjoy much happiness. Hold tight to the things you carry from Berkeley, and may they always serve you and the world around you. We're immensely proud of what you have done, and even more of what you will become. We're thrilled that you will always be essential parts of our extended family. This is Berkeley. Okay, I turn now to a wonderful award. It's our Haas International Award. It was established in 1964 by Mr. and Mrs. Walter A. Haas Jr., Mr. and Mrs. Peter E. Haas, and Mr. and Mrs. Richard N. Goldman. The Elise and Walter A. Haas International Award honors an alum who is a native, citizen, and resident of another country, and who has a distinguished record of service to that country in the arts, science, and engineering, education, business, environmental protection, government, or any other field. Not all of those fields. That's an or. Its presentation echoes both the global character of Berkeley's faculty, students, and curricula, and the university's long-standing commitment to improving the human condition around the world. The 2025 recipient is Professor San Ling, and he is an amazing example of international service. Dr. San Ling received his PhD in mathematics from Cal, that was 1990. He's a passionate academic and visionary leader. He began his career at the National University of Singapore and US. He joined the Nanyang Technological University, NTU, in Singapore in 2005 as the founding head of the Division of Mathematical Sciences in the School of Physical and Mathematical Sciences, SPMS, as it's known at NTU. After stints as chair, SPMS, and dean, College of Science, Dr. Ling became NTU's provost and recently concluded his term this past June. During that time, he served as acting president and was also concurrently the chief scientific advisor at Singapore's National Research Foundation. Dr. Ling is a firm believer in talent attraction and development, innovation in education and well-being, and his leadership has had an amazing impact on every university that he has been part of. Please join me in congratulating San Ling, the 2025 recipient of the Haas International Award, for his outstanding work returning to his home country of Singapore. Dr. Ling, it is my privilege to present you with the Haas International Medal and also a prize check for $35,000. Dr. Ling. Dr. Ling, if you would say a few words, we would welcome it. Thank you.
Well, thank you, Chancellor Lyons. And a big thank you to Cal and the Haas family for this award, which I'm deeply honored to receive. And it's equally my privilege to join you, the class of 2025, on this joyous occasion that marks an important milestone in your own lives. Congratulations. Well, commencement are always wonderful occasions for reflection. So I did my part. I reflected on my time at Cal and my own career. And I thought I would just share very briefly 3 lessons that I realized I picked up here at Berkeley that have impacted my own life. The first came from my PhD advisor, Professor Ken Ribbett, who is seated right here. Directly from him. So some of you, if you're a math major, you'll know that while Ken is not just an outstanding mathematician, he's a great teacher, extremely well liked by students. And I was deeply impressed by his ability to do both. So his passion for both teaching and research actually became an inspiration that shaped my own values towards the profession. Well, initially for myself, but subsequently when I had to formulate university policies. The second lesson is about embracing opportunities and challenges, especially uncertainties. So when I was just about to start my dissertation research, Ken told me that he was going to spend a year in Paris on sabbatical. Well, mind you, those were the days with no internet, no emails, no Zoom, only snail mail. So what that would mean was my research was going to be set back and slowed down quite significantly. So I told Ken, I want to go to Paris with you. And Ken replied, okay, you need to know enough French to take some math classes and to manage your own everyday life. Well, fair points. The only catch was I only had one summer. But the prospect of spending some time in Paris became such tremendous motivation that I decided to take Ken on his challenge. That unplanned semester in Paris turned out to be such an eye-opener, one that eventually led to decades of close relationship with French colleagues and institutions, both at the personal and institutional level. So, well, thanks, Ken, for that challenge. Well, the third lesson has absolutely nothing to do with Ken or math or academia, but all about life. One big shock I had when I first came to Berkeley was the presence, the huge presence of the homeless. What was even more shocking to me was when I saw some of my fellow graduate students and even some faculty showing compassion towards this vulnerable group. For example, through serving in soup kitchens. I'm immensely thankful that this example of theirs led me to more than 3 very rewarding decades of serving recovering drug users in Singapore. This engagement really has been a privilege and a blessing to my own life. And yes, despite the very strict laws in Singapore, we do have drug users. Well, so these have been 3 lessons that impacted my own life. Well, to the graduating class here, I'm sure that each of you would have your own lessons picked up here at Berkeley that will empower you to become light in this world. So once again, congratulations and all the best to you. Thank you, and go Bears.
Thank you, Dr. Ling, for those words and that notion of service, which is just shot through Berkeley at such a deep level, right? I mean, this idea of commitment to the greater good, the way it manifests among ourselves is that we literally lift one another, right? We illuminate one another was the phrase that I used in my remarks. That's an important part of how Berkeley advances so quickly among the faculty, among the staff, among the students. Thank you for those words. And now it is my pleasure and honor to introduce our keynote speaker. Aravind Srinivas is the co-founder and CEO of Perplexity. You've all heard of Perplexity. Perplexity is an AI answer engine that combines web search with artificial intelligence to provide direct, sourced answers. Perplexity was founded in 2022 with a conviction that the best use of AI will be to advance human learning. Born in Chennai, India, Aravind's path to AI leadership was anything but conventional. While studying electrical engineering at the Indian Institute of Technology, Madras, he found himself captivated by machine learning, a passion sparked by cross-departmental collaboration and the mentorship of pioneering faculty. This willingness to forge new paths, along with Aravind's ability to combine deep technical expertise with an entrepreneur's instinct for challenging convention, have been the defining characteristics of his career. After completing his PhD in computer science here at Berkeley, Aravind went on to expand the boundaries of AI research at many institutions like OpenAI, Google, and DeepMind before co-founding Perplexity. Today, his investors and advisors include some of the world's leading research scientists, top VCs, and founders of some of the world's most transformational companies. He has been recognized among Time's 100 most influential figures in AI, among many other recognitions. Please join me in welcoming Aravind Srinivas. Aravind, please. Thank you.
Thank you, Chancellor Lyons. Chancellor, faculty, parents, students, relatives, friends, regents of University of California. Thank you for having me here, and congratulations to the UC Berkeley Winter Commencement Class of 2025. It's trite to say I'm humbled to be here, but it's very true. I'm humbled to stand before you today on such an important day in your lives, because it hasn't been very long since I too last crossed the stage, as you're about to do in a few minutes. In fact, I still have my old robe in my closet. So it may be too early in my journey for me to feel like the commencement speaker that the students of this great university deserve. But you can tell your parents that I'm in the news a lot, or that sometimes world leaders ask for my opinion, but just don't tell them that I live in an apartment that's smaller than the one I used to live in Berkeley. It's true, San Francisco real estate is pretty hard. Or you could tell them that the company I co-founded is worth tens of billions of dollars, but they're old enough to tell you that it's a startup. It's not really wealth, it's pressure. Pressure is a good thing, by the way. My point is, I'm really in the same situation as you are. We have a lot in common. Like you, I'm much closer to the beginning of my journey than the end. We probably also like some of the same restaurants, and they probably still have some of the same staff, but your class cohort is unique, unlike mine and unlike any other. Your 4 years at Berkeley span a major shift. The world has changed since you entered school, and I helped change it. So this afternoon, I may not be old enough to give you a lot of wisdom, but I'm responsible enough to at least offer you an explanation. The short version is this: we did not have AI, and now we do. Good luck, and thank you for having me. My notes say pause for a joke, but that's not really a joke. Whenever we witness a major technological shift that reshapes our world, a lot of people are going to pop up to tell you what they think is going to happen. And I would like to urge you to remember, they don't know what they're talking about. No one does, not even me, because it's the future. And when it comes to the future, everyone is just like all of us here today. Everyone is on day one. The only difference is that all of you are the ones who are going to build the future. So I don't want to waste the rest of my time giving a fancy speech. Instead, I want to ask you some questions. So I brought 3 questions for all of you today. The first question: who cares what you do next? Probably your parents, maybe some of the companies that want you to work for them, or your partner, you yourself, maybe you care what you do next. I don't care what you do, I care how you do it. Because whatever you do, it's only going to be the first thing you do. And barring a terrible tragedy, it won't be the last. What matters is that you do it with incredible velocity. Then you can do whatever comes after that, and whatever comes after that. Just keep moving fast. And pretty soon, you'll have gotten so far in such a short time that whatever it is that all the other people wanted you to do will seem pretty small in hindsight. And you'll still be closer to the beginning than to the end. The equation for velocity is displacement, or a change in position divided by time. So whether there's AI or no AI, my advice for you is the same. You must always change your position as fast as possible, so you can do it again and again and again. Now, one of the questions that Silicon Valley investors like to ask when you go pitch them is, what is your moat? And I've had to answer this question a lot because Perplexity is the most copied company in AI. Almost everything we build is quickly replicated by Google or OpenAI or others. In the early days, I used to answer this question saying, velocity is our moat. For you, it is. When you are at the beginning of your journey, like right now, your biggest advantage is to move really fast, displacement over time. Fail faster, succeed faster, never slow down. If you move fast enough, it won't be long before you notice a change when you look back. For instance, our company moves so fast that about every 3 months, it looks like a whole different company. Like, I've been the CEO of 10 different Perplexities. Every day, I have a new job at a new company that's bigger than the company I've ever led before. I'm smarter, and now I've been the CEO of enough Perplexities to learn that velocity is not our moat. It's our superpower. The difference between a moat and a superpower is that a moat only protects you from the world around you, but a superpower shapes the world inside of you. Moving fast makes you feel powerful on the inside. You're stronger and you're wiser every single day. You don't need to sit in a castle and worry about invading armies crossing your moat. You don't need to worry about AI taking over your jobs or whatever somebody posted on LinkedIn. Instead, you can do whatever you want. Who cares what it is? Just do it fast. So now I'll ask you the second question. What are you waiting for? As you may know, there is something called the time value of money. Your financial advisor will explain this to you as compounding. Money either grows over time due to the force of interest, or it shrinks over time due to the force of inflation. For example, when $100,000 has the buying power of $40,000 in roughly about 23 years, you're going to need $250,000 just to break even. The most basic financial principle is that you should always be compounding interest at a rate that's greater than inflation. Because if you're not growing, you're shrinking. Now, I didn't come here to lecture you about your finances. Compounding affects everything. There is a time value of your knowledge. There is a time value of wisdom. So just like the value of the dollar, the value of what you know today will depreciate over time. It will do so a very small amount every single day. So small that you hardly notice it, and then one day you wake up and you have nothing. Can you imagine? The Pythagorean theorem was once reserved for elites with robes more fancy than these. But everyone here learned a squared plus b squared equals c squared, probably in your 7th grade. So the same thing is true of whatever you studied here at Berkeley. Your education here today will be equivalent to that of a 7th grader's. And that is a good thing. It's called progress. But it means you must never stop learning. You must keep learning with an interest rate that's greater than the inflation rate of knowledge. So, what are you waiting for? I'm telling you to move fast right now, but I'm also telling you to think slow. There is a lot you're waiting for. To view the world through the lens of compounding is to view it with a long-term future. And none of us here may know the future, but that doesn't mean we ignore it. There is a very old question. Can you take as long to eat a mango as the tree that took to grow it? You probably don't need a diploma to know the answer to that one. You can't. So that's why they say the best time to plant a tree is 25 years ago. And then they also say the second best time is right now. But I don't think that's true. Because 25 years is a pretty long time to wait for a mango when they are just $2.79 at the Berkeley Bowl. So what exactly is it that you're waiting for? Again, it doesn't matter, because whatever you're waiting for is in the future. And so no matter how fast you're on the way there, you can't really change the speed of time. The only thing you can change is what you find when you get there, by doing something right now. I will quote Naval Ravikant, who said it better than me. Impatience with actions, patience with results. That's why it's not true to say the second best time to plant a tree is right now. The second best time was 24 years and 364 days ago. So the lesson for you is to always be planting trees, every day, every minute. But there is a bigger problem here. For most of your life, a lot of people may have told you that patience is like growing a tree. Like you just plant a seed, enjoy the peace and quiet while it grows, and then someday enjoy yourself sitting under its shade. It's not going to take you very long in the real world to learn that's not how patience works. Something all your parents here know about life is that patience usually just means pain tolerance. And one of the most useful things I've learned is how helpful it is to remind yourself as often as you can is nothing is really ever that painful. Most things don't actually hurt that much. You can tolerate it. That's real patience. Now, I know everyone has hard days, and the harder you work, the harder your days will be. Not to mention, pain itself evolved as a warning signal. Pain tells you to take your hand out of the fire. But it's never as bad as it seems. People have been around for a really long time, and we're pretty durable. We invented fire and the combustion engine, sent rockets to space, and recently rockets that land from space. How cool is that? The point is, if you want the future to be any different than today, you need to consistently put your hand in the fire. So, in addition to velocity, you must have consistency. You must keep doing it even when you don't think it's working. Roger Federer, one of the greatest tennis players of all time, played 1,526 singles matches in his career and won 80% of them. But he only won 54% of the points. That means 46% of the time, it was painful enough to give up, to take his hand out of the fire. But he kept playing. So every time you endure the pain of playing again, you end up changing your future. You change what you're waiting for. And this won't be easy. Velocity and consistency require patience, and true patience is relentless. Relentless is one of my favorite words because it means you never give up. It means you may not know what you're waiting for, but you do know it's worth fighting for. And there is a saying about successful people that they never take no for an answer. Well, what was their question? Which brings me to my last question for you. What's with all these questions? Let me tell you something uncomfortable about the education you're completing here today. The university has misled you on one critical detail. Don't worry, this isn't something Berkeley did wrong. Since you were a child, your earliest days in school, you've had tests, quizzes, from coloring inside the lines, to math, to algebra, to calculus. Your instructors have asked you for the answer all the time. By way of the Socratic method, all you've been doing until now is answering questions. And the best answers got the best grades. But as you enter life outside of these walls, you may think this is still true. It's not. You will be tempted to see answers as the key to your success. Your bosses might even tell you this when they ask for a presentation or a report. Yes, you do need to get the report done, but don't be fooled. The secret to success in life is not who has the best answers, but who has the best questions. I'm a CEO, so I do get to see a lot of reports and pitches, and I can tell you, the best ones are made by people who have more questions. They answer the questions that I didn't even know I had. Your ability to have the best questions will be the single most defining skill of your life. And no matter what you do, whatever your talent is, you'll only be the best at it if you keep asking how. And I often tell the story of 3 people who invented the transistor. The transistor gave birth to modern computing as we know. It was as fundamental a shift in technology as artificial intelligence, probably more. And at that time, the number of telephone engineers in the world, adjusted for population, was just about the same number as software engineers today. Yet, only 3 of them changed the future of computing. Why? Because they had questions, because they were curious. They were the only engineers who asked questions like, can we make a vacuum tube that doesn't overheat? Or is it made of glass? Or doesn't cost so much to make? They had more questions. Could we use this metal or that metal? And they had almost 12 years of questions, never giving up, always learning more. And then one day, they changed the future overnight. History is full of these examples. The people who lead, who change, who make a difference in the world, they all have only one thing in common. They ask questions about the world. They are relentlessly curious. Be relentlessly curious. Ask questions of everything. Because this entire time that you've been at Berkeley, having the answer has never been the actual point of education. The point was to give you more questions. Have you noticed how the people behind me aren't really shaking their heads in disagreement? Because they know this is true. They use fancy words and call it the spirit of inquiry. Because every academic paper that they've authored, every course that they've taught, have all been for one single purpose, for other people to see it and have more questions, new questions. This is what they mean when they tell you you graduated today. You are ready to change from answering their questions to asking your own. So that's why we're all here. For those of you who studied religion or history, you may find a version of these words inscribed in the sacred texts of many different philosophies. It is better to search for wisdom than it is to search for wealth. Across centuries, continents, and origins, different humans have written this admonition for a very long time. Curiosity is a very unique human trait, and throughout human history, the learners among us, the curious, have created the future. They ask why, they ask how, they ask what if. To the graduates of the UC Berkeley Winter Commencement Class of 2025, what if the world hasn't changed that much between when you started school and today? What if you're the ones who'll change the world and define the future for all of us? These are just my questions for you. What really matters are your questions. Please, if I can leave you with one thing today, it is this: never stop asking. I wish you luck, and I wish you all the wisdom in the world. Congratulations again. Thank you.
Outstanding. Thank you, Aravind. Who cares what you do next? What are we waiting for? And that fundamental cognitive transition from answering questions to asking your own. There is a lot of wisdom in that address. Thank you very, very much, Aravind. How about one more round of applause? Okay, folks, it is now that time. It is time for the conferral of degrees. That's right. That's right. We wish to recognize our students who will receive their bachelor's degrees, their master's degrees, their JDs, and their PhDs. Would the candidates please begin coming forward?
James Antonio McCloy. Aaron Sanchez.
Ivan Acevedo. Andy Hu.
Robert Orozco.
Shasi Panidi.
Francisco Martinez Iñiguez.
Amber Collins.
Robert Orozco.
Al-Jawhara Khalid Al-Rashid. William Eccles. Genevieve Hornback. Mevi Adine. Aaron Dobbin Kim. Jason Louie. Richard Manish Kumar. Jaden Hokut. Carlos Cisneros Cruz. Simon Huang. Ziran Liang. William Eccles. Ryan Joseph Little. James Lee.
Jack Tang.
Young Ji.
Ethan Rubin.
Nathaniel Kim. Nestor Cano.
Austin Tung. Eric Sewell.
Johan Ko.
Renzo Labugan Rodriguez.
Marcel Angelo Daniel Gunadi.
Heath Whitted.
Nathan Kim. Tenley Desitov.
Hannah Triu.
Nyanza Guzman. Haley Kuralchulun. Chung Huan Kwak.
Feng He Win.
Bea Alisa Sunga Cortado.
Kaylin Miller.
Devendra Reese Chakrabarty.
Ani Malgeri.
Alfredo Jan Lopez Juarez. Arya Gandhi.
Andrew Munoz. Allison Yeager.
Ian Document.
Claire Wu.
Isabella Rose Callow. Rachel Allison de la Merced.
Xiao Yue Zhang.
Anya Lassala. Henry Din. Cole Brunke.
Jeremy Ramirez.
Matthew Cranny.
Liam Ningthao. Annie Kate Paliwal.
Ricardo Avila.
Calvin Miller.
Jerry Fang. Dominic Gutierrez. Alexa Banuelos. Silas Kennedy.
Dylan Semin. Duo Ling Zhang.
Edwin Figueroa. Etai Abulcasis. Tiana Cole.
Andrew Shatut. Shay Todd Hope. Liam Marcelo McAvoy. Holy Fan Rensselaer.
Ryan Boletto. Ankita Hemmadi.
Iowa.
Dylan Odwire. Hannah Teal. Ian Paraka. Catherine Ryan. Kirby Wynn. Lexi Ragual. Jonathan Wang.
Ryan Cow. Jui Yu Ray Liu. Ashley De Jesus.
Indaita Ventura Rivera. Jaslyn Morales. Lydia Jade Olguin.
Sihao Lee.
Jamie Lynn Frances Notley.
Sandra Than. Kyle Valibia. Henley Jang. Jacqueline Marie Page. Nathaniel Tran. Bradley Poultz.
Alexandra Diana Casey.
Lauren Olivia Peters.
Monish Behera. Cassidy Doffermeyer.
Tenzin Norfell. Bande Pardi.
Pedro Martinelli do Amaral. Kelly Fusari.
Ali Basit Nakwi. Madeline Weisenberger.
Yara Deraniagale Dantas. Ethan Aoki.
Nathan Seelin. Susanna Claire Stark. Jack Tien.
Christopher Bogosian.
Ana Marie Miramontes. Lorenzo Castro Mendoza.
Thomas Enrique Guzman. Joe Huff. David K. Fuji. Ezen Batar Batjargal. Cheyenne Kenny.
Trevor Rubino.
Emma Jones.
Alexandra Ainsworth.
Martin Zapata.
Ashley Samantha Basave Ibarra. Joanna Figueroa.
Desiree Salazar Romero.
Marla Asmussen. Elizabeth Duran. Cherie Brewster.
Nate Rodkin.
Rushil Sani.
Jimmy Lee.
Luke Wells.
Amit Hod, Nathan Carter,
Jacob McAninch, Carl Rowe,
Colby Keesis,
Wengson Yang, Samara Alessandra Ruiz,
Nicholas Caldas,
Danielle Murphy,
Cambridge Bui Win, Andre Duremdes,
Mahesh Nidrua,
Haritha Rajasekhar,
Mara Lampsas, Ashley Chun, Tyler Burns, Renee Gallegos, Calvin Duanez, Tien Kim Lee,
Julia Sutejo, Xing Sheng Ma,
Catherine Eastland,
Ling Liu Ye-shi,
Aubrey Hill Banks, Irene Huang,
Zeynep Birce Suzan, Nicholas Raoult Wang,
Yahan Kang, AJ Becca,
Yumin Park, Archisha Verma,
Hansu Kim,
Burju Huff,
Jun Hyuk Im, Cherlin Antonio Basilio, Aditya Kumar,
Diego Moya,
Matthew Shaw,
Ava Jordan Lamarche, Tarun Doraraj,
Jihao Shi,
Annabella Adams,
Carolyn Tao, Michaela Mills,
Ethan Brielle,
Audrey Mack, Tam Tran, Joy Young, Brianna Marie Perez,
Akshat Dewani,
Nicholas Allen,
Diego Valencia Stabin,
Jasmine Castanja Lobo,
Michael Sechko Palmer-Lee,
Jamie Choi,
Jade Williams,
Keynes Lee,
Arjun Pillai, Sean Sullivan,
Mary Z. Na Leung,
Edward Wu,
Adriana Geronimo, Tushar Gona, Varun Ayapan, Evelyn Gunn,
Praniti Gulani,
Agam Bansal, Anya Grant, Terry Hu, Sophie Ngoc Huang,
Jimmy Jang, Lena Wolski, Brian Perez, Ashley Rex, Charlie Ramirez,
Arnold Kai,
Alani Reynoso, Kale Malari,
Nerissa Liu,
John Glenn C.,
Elias Klingbeil,
Joanne Chuan, Sheila Tecker,
Joshua Lee, Michaela Yed Ming Hammers, Emery Lowe,
Leah Polonsky,
Henry Doan, Cedar Frost, Fatima Gasmelseed, Hazel Sarai Diaz,
J.T. Williams,
Sarah Ziemsklus,
David Lee,
Ariel Foe,
Ukjong Cho,
Laura Jane Wong,
Bella Sonnen,
Malika Mahmoodi,
Yeun Kim, Andy Brown, Gilbert Umbreeze Lim, Virginia Broughton, Jang Hyun Lee, Lawrence Chen,
Ruhan Zeller, Tay Walker,
Yiming Lee,
Dylan Stubo,
Kalina Jensen, Anshul Agarwal,
Isabel Nurjanov, Katya Veersholm,
Esmeralda Castillo Aquino, Junso Lee, Alessandra Kalika, Yu Bai,
Kaiyu Wang, Jiarui Shu, Kelly Chow Nguyen, Albert C.,
Benjamin Sims.
Kai Kui Lau,
Zhangro Hanzu,
Taichil Mateo.
Hector Brizano,
Nina Metal,
Lisbeth Contreras Suarez, Leo Tao Lu, Andrea Gomez, Akash Chintalapati,
David Ovani Vicente, Kelly Chow Nguyen,
Anvi Kothari,
Grace Meindl,
Anna Bjorklund, Sachita Kashyap, Isabel Escobedo, Peng Shun Lee, Davina Carrillo,
Jose Martinez Fernandez,
Grant Carl, Caitlin Hernandez,
David Soto Gonzalez,
Leilani Doe,
Andres Guarleta Cerrato, Edora Roel, Risa Shapiro, Mirhan Wang,
Wengxiu Li,
Melissa Chawi Monsiri,
Sicheng,
David Shaw, Xiao Tong Zhan, Tatiana Solano,
Michelle Chen.
Litzy Hernandez Gomez,
Brooke Soldano,
Lisbeth España Lopez,
Nathan Messer,
Anushka Ghosh, Chloe Durham,
Jaden Tiemann,
Carson Crawford,
Ansley Shim, Sebastian Orozco, Shinyi Zhu, Kevin Truong, Catherine Velasquez,
Katarina Haas,
Leah Tristan,
Panathan Lurtsuntovit, Damon Fang,
Jason Wang,
Wen Yi Ge, Ronan Hugai,
Lingxin Yang,
Joshua Levitt, David Wayne Kaitan Jr.,
Drew McCall,
Riddhi Kulkarni,
Zed Simiriotti,
Marina Elias, Matthew Dubuque, Adriana Gabrielle Gonzalez, Kimberly Yoon, John Jose Castro III, Ernesto Steven Flores,
Lily Wang, Pei Tam Pong, Richard Edward Rivas, Daniel Reinhardt, Margaret Quackenbush,
Saketh Kanduri, Isabella Longi,
Naveen Kumar Suresh.
Emma Hohen.
Maria Therese Francesca Villarosa Sombillo. Emma Pontius. Jasmine Melanie Samantina.
Riley Cheney.
Ethan Serbanescu.
Malo Rabalan.
Neil Tendolkar.
Natalie Berry. Sasha Bondeville.
Lisa Torres.
Leon Bullinger.
Harrison Williams.
Angelina Kayabayab. Sharon Che.
Zari Salimitari. Suyan Park.
Jesse Cox. Joseph Dowling.
Maria Faye Theodori.
Leonardo Daniel Duran Hinojosa. Chavez Assad.
Chen Wei Zhang. Paul Cuccinelli. Julian Pearson Rickenbach.
Daeyoung Kim.
Asata Mosley Moon. Mengyang Tong.
Jiadong Liu. Angel Cruz.
Caleb Youngchan Rowe.
Lauren Ann Lay.
Will Sweet. Alexander Torchin. Curtis Mitchell.
Camille Altman.
Simranjit Soki.
Tyler Cashman.
Lois Wang. Anushka Verma.
Joseph Moriano.
Yuvan Sharma. Nicole Walters.
Keelan Hooper. Deanna Chavez.
John Nalder.
Mariah Emke. Jacob Feingold. Liam Brownlee. Lauren Ann Lay. Henry Lieberman.
Max Russell. Anushka Verma.
Tyler Bagnall. Camille Altman.
Julia Roy. Jansen Samosa.
Mariah Emke. Stephen Jethro Chan. Subhasis Das. Takaki Ito. Lena Badia.
Amanu Watanabe.
Clayton Knipe. Jieki Chen. Shoki Ebihara.
Xiao Yu Ye. Cam Phelan. Kristen Marshall. Misato Okamoto.
Alex Benny. Pranati Kola.
Emily Savernock. Pimada Paniengveit. Randolph Ontiveros.
Malia Kayabyab Gundayao.
Arvin Shahid.
Reagan Bowerbank.
Alexander Schofield.
Frederick Go. Sining Huang. Sophia Alexandra Kirchin.
Michael Winailan.
Zamira Cortez. Francisco Catanzaro.
Daniela Virgen. Laura Mansour. Tina Nguyen.
Vivek Bharati. Aliza Marie de Leon Guevara. Samantha Sylvia Acevedo. Natalia Elaine Harris.
Ariane Sawant.
Lee Nat Kan Win, Laura Mansour, Aldan Au,
Vivek Bharati, Alberto Gonzalez, Raj Jagannath, Taylor Jorge Hassan, Francisco Catanzaro,
Rafael Petrosian,
Victoria Kremsel, Jolena Taylor Alonzo, Emma Gardner,
Cece Xue, Claire Me,
Nicholas Doran Holloway, Michelle Vanessa Gallagher,
Pimada Paniuwet.
Christopher An, Jenny Din, Soyoung Lee, Irene Isabel Fernandez,
Juana Mendoza Cruz,
Ziyuan Liu,
Marisa Estela Osorio Agard,
Yu Lu, Mateo Hammer Longos, Travis Camors, Jenny Minjin Kim,
Yo-Yo Tang, Jonathan Yang,
Abel Anguiano Gomez, Fernando Campos,
Matthew Zhou,
Hua Tuan Kiet, Jerry Xie,
Bak Sun Chan,
Connor Chen, Michael Lavery, August Arneson, Annabella Chow, Jangwon Lee, Sarah Akhtar, Amarisa Aliyah Gonzalez, Divya Krishnan, Rebecca Ball, Candace Chen,
Isabel Sandoval, Naomi Wong, Yunil So, Emily Kwan Rostrada,
Jocelyn Espinoza,
Brooke Osheroff,
Gun Hui Kim, Jessica Lambros, Jinghan Jiang, Jay Gupta,
Annie Pei,
Arya Goyal, Luna Ann, Arnav Sumit Agarwal, Claire Jae-yoon Kang, Shreyansh Chabra,
Ann Yoon,
Vedant Agarwal,
Henry Zhou, Isaac Torres,
Wei Cheng Liao, Elijah Diaz,
Pei Ki Zhou, Yasmin Venegas Jimenez,
Yingde Du,
Nanji Wang,
Benjamin Nepper,
Junji Pei, JT Pirog,
Ayla Ares,
Din Koi Win Mai,
Rashika Gorai,
Emily Hannah Ma, Aditya Ohri,
Thomas Lee, Dan Karaman, Arjun Singh Brar, Noemi Barrera Ruiz,
Andres Rodriguez Gonzalez,
Leilani Elizabeth Labrie,
Julian Scott, Cecilia Tran,
Edward Kim.
Carlos Cortez, Catherine Ann Horn, Amanda Cerillo,
Guang Yang, Halbin Moges,
Fang Chen Liu,
Muthumayan Madhayan,
Minsa Bong, Ethan Huang,
Jose Navarro.
Noemi Barrera Ruiz.
Larry Wu. Erica Jonas Sarabia. Harris Harun Shirzai. Danielle Reynoso Sanchez. Justice O'Rourke Barella. Armand Robert Saburi.
Noah Fairless.
Mai Huan Chu.
Shinlin Miao. Lin Da Miao. Alice Peng. Yiheng Zhou.
Isaac Shu. Justin Bai. Irene Shu.
Eric Yao.
Veronica Hong. Yi Ho. Nok Tui Ho.
Zeynep Birce Suzan.
Juhao Li. Angelina Huang. Yumi He. Callie Jiang.
Xiao Jun Jeff Wu.
Melody Louie. Mingwei Chen.
Eric Tanahuvia. Ziyu Shue.
Sunny Chen.
Michael Mandujano.
Thomas Italia.
Luo Tong Wan. Yuan Jue Percy Zhu. Naomi Wang Jeffriot.
Julien Bourret. Kevin Korp. Sufyan Fana.
Camille Navinaire.
Tessa Graham.
Ricardo Espinoza Cruz.
Abraham DeLacy. Ethan Joaquin Ramirez.
Alishami David Outlan. Christine Nguyen.
Luca Castellani. Edwin Lopez. Adrian Hernandez. John Declan Kuda.
Jacob Melton.
Kevin Korp. Wai Han. Annika Chen.
Ocean Marquez. Tyler Osby. Lemuel Samardi.
Vicky Yijing Hao. Adamaris Gasca.
Andrew Ong.
Grace Evans.
Neil Palais. Qian Yu.
Lam Lam. Sonia Buman.
Isaiah Shaw. Sadie Linda Miller.
Ziding He. Mark Hu. Wai Han.
Ali Ahmad Siddiqui.
Annika Chen. Diego Amador Fino.
Tyler Osby. Lemuel Samardi. Jacob Melton.
Vicky Yijing Hao. Adamaris Gasca.
Christian Traps. Ziyin Soon.
Jonathan Good. Aiden Lippert. Hugh Duong.
Minghu Kwang Win.
Mark Hu.
Quetzali Orta. Kang Vo.
Bang Huing. Diego Amador Fino.
Ziyin Soon.
Caitlin Nicole Chen, Kate Duong, Lauren Longo, Gwyn Zhang Ngoc Win, Ange Charasia,
Koi Chow Tuan Win.
Ryan Rundle,
Carlos Jesus Gomez,
Haeyoung Jung,
Imani Gilbreth, Shashwat Bansal, Rahul Chog, Dana Camacho, Abby Blake,
Tanvi Nalagatla, Matthew Thomas,
Trini Anayi Chavarin, Morgan Klatt, Javier Almanza,
Dimitri Tipluk.
Mia Magana Kelly, Josna Jaslow,
Evita Vecchiari,
Vincent Sila Karma,
Kai Sian,
Seong Yuk Hong,
Hao Zhang, Zhixian Tan,
Joanna Lamb, Michael Hu, Nola Sabine Ayers Brady,
Almendra Badola.
Haley Tonozzi, Tyler Matthew Spencer,
Inwoke Back, Sochang Choi, Ho Jung Arthur Kang, Inwoke Back, Sochang Choi, Nola Sabine Ayers Brady, Irene Hyun-hee Lee, Joanna Lamb, Sean Sung-yun Lee,
Haley Tonozzi,
Kevin Lim,
Tyler Matthew Spencer,
Young Min Kim, Yoon Chung Chang,
Armand Mesami Tabriz,
Isaac Aguilar, Vincent Sila Karma, Andrea Guadalupe Alfaro,
Jovin Valdez,
Connor Chow,
Tunvi Sagaonkar,
Maria Guadalupe Estrada, Alejandra Amador Caro,
Betty Yan,
Arvind Ganesh,
Song Ong Jenny Park, Jasmine Para Santos,
Anna Adam Megradichian.
Aaron,
Mariana Lascarane Flores,
Saivenkatanaga Vijayanti Pulapragada, Zhao Wang, Vandana Mati,
Evelyn Bedoya Medina, Evelyn Yi-Han Ling,
Camila Elizabeth Vasquez Espinoza,
Isabel Guillen Cervantes, Ali Gavasi, David Dominic Karush Kashabi, Michael Barron,
Evan Wong,
Tae Hyun Lee, Jonah Davis, Kurt Benz, Tianqing Luo,
Mingye Yu,
Katie Allerton,
Shu Fan, Priyanka Upadhyay,
Donna Choi.
Amy Zhang, Jinju Yim, Carl Sun,
Jason Guo Yu.
Danielle Carmelo,
May Dahlia Okali, Brandon Posas,
Mariam Ali, Arthur Feroyan,
Zan Mustafa, Jonathan David Ordonez, Victor Yi,
Hannah Louise DeVilder,
Naomi Tai,
Julia Choi, Elizabeth Fisk, Simon Cox,
Aiden Coyne.
Vincent Tran, Meghna Sharma,
James Lucas,
Jaime Robles, Josh Mikus,
Julia Choi,
Raymond V. Yum, Noah Mitchum, Jason Yip,
Kavish Lumba, Charlie Acquisto,
Bea Cabrera.
Elliot Meldrum, Kevin Ram,
Jiawen Chen,
Viet Hung Vo, Sebastian Spade,
Dejin Hong, Taryn Chu, Darlene Chen, Riley Fairchild, Alena Lee, Sang Lee, Christine Kanoff, Michelle Lee,
Heather Way,
Max Cohen, Alexa Lozano,
Maritza Ramirez,
Ida Goldzar, Elias Antunes, Jose Lara,
Eliana Xavier Matos,
Zijia Liu,
Zainab Birja Suzan.
Audrey Xin Liang, Tiffany Chen, Wan Chen Li,
Hao Yang Zhang, Elsie Shaw,
Sophie Chance,
Clara Chalmers. Lucas Wiegand.
Yan Tong Lin, Adam Izabodian,
Sophia Parsons,
Max Cohen.
Henry Furrer,
Paloma Zareen Mertel,
Georgina Stephanie Cortez.
Du Xiang, Maya Saha, Margaret McGreevy, Sabaf Bahedi,
Adam Izabodian,
Jingzu Tsi.
Sophia Shin,
Chi Xin Feng, Maggie Chen,
Zi Wang,
Angie Dai, Aya El Shalal, Sharina Chan, Sungwook Kim, Erica Layton, Keunte Kim, Chelsea Kawamura, Lai Jiang, Dongwan Kim, Raymond Chang, Zhang Young Lee,
David Russell, Alasne Ramos Flores,
Angelica Angeles Vasquez, Dabin Choi,
Fatima Zamani,
Chelsea Lee,
Mariam Zakia,
Ainsley Fleming Wood,
Iran Yan,
Ravneet Brar, Hongjin Lo,
Sukriti Singh,
Larry Arpia Jr., Tari Elete,
Siddhartha Gupta.
Mai Tian Duong Tran, Adedayo Odugbesan,
Shana Eileen Gorola Rodriguez, Nya Makai Johnson,
Esteban Marquez Morales, Bunchang, Jamin Shu, Mingxi Tang,
Rosemary Earl, Yifei Ding,
Juliette Acaris.
Meishin Ma,
Ellen Chong,
Zihao Zhao, So Zhang Park, Yufeng Yan, Jingyi Zhou,
Abi Abraham, Anna Maria Ase,
Li Wan,
Niyati Chowdhury,
Jonathan Zakharov, Yalu Pan, Joey Tai Pong, Beulah Nemene, Gloria Chirotich Tanui, Subrat Tripathi, Pratyush Singh,
Jacqueline In, Nicholas Isley, Cameron Jordan,
Tian Han Zhong, Max Isaias Melgoza Ortega,
Fatima Kunwer,
Kant Ni Ni, Arnita Mernandi Tias, Olive Satyawan, Sangday Nam, Ria Thakar, Siddiq Permana, Aristotle Snow,
Nina Huang, Miles Duong,
Adonai Velde Mikael,
Romina Babai,
Michael Shu,
Zachary John Price.
Tara Golamian Zadeh,
Fissa Raza, Sabahun Nuha Salam,
Samia Amin, Selena Bilal,
Sameh Popal,
Julia Camacho, Hariharan Karthikeyan,
Gabriela Vargas, Justin Peck, Michael Shu,
Abdi Ambari,
Kai Wu,
Caden Levitt,
Ying Shu,
Yushin Liang,
Rupa Ramanujam,
Agam Gambiri.
Bieyi Kanugi, Xiao Chen, Uyan Ta,
Caden Levitt,
Yilin Yang, Drupa Ramanujam, Zixiao Sui,
Kaylee Jung, Yugal,
Sylvie Weintraub,
Brian Lee,
Carly Wingyen Ju, Wendy Mai, Lucia Ornelas, Lauren Wright, Kaleni Michael Tukia,
Precious Ayeze,
Nurchan Sumbul, Hongji Pan, Carly Wingyen Ju,
Yul Kim, Crystal Aquino, Chuhua Ding, Sun Kyu Kim, Renee Kanwar, Jekwon Jing, Shreyas Borat,
Ronnie Chef,
Shanna Finnegan, Hannah Corey, Chungmin Lee,
Upasana Pradhan, Jia Yin Yang, Hongxuan Mia Wu, Jiachi Wang, Jawa Ju,
Georgia Liu,
Carrie Wan, Ming Hui Wang,
Jacqueline Eliaso Ginto,
Noah Reber.
Gabrielle Nicole Yi Reyes, Tiffany Amber La Rosa Yusan,
Leslie Cheyenne Kennedy Day Jesus, Christian George,
Dan Wynn,
Miguel Ambriz Valdovinos,
William Zhang,
Melgwin Gunawan, Dustin Videri Koch, Riley Michelle Keeney,
Nadia Razak, Paula Shania Nordstrom Miranda,
Jennifer Noemi Juarez Yock,
Marlo Noon, Jordan Matthew Royland.
Mari Carr Almeida.
Paraswi Tawari. Ni Pham. Fateme Sharudi.
Simran Dalal.
Yedid Angelica Vargas.
Nasif Ajar.
Stephen Pavlov.
Suhas Pantari.
Nasif Ajar. Jalen Jones. Daniel Axelrod. Owen Cruz Bernabe. Gautam Bordia.
Hank Sheng.
Naomi Heinen.
Shangying Zhang. Kelly Park. Jacqueline Yip.
Elliot Chia.
Alan Yap.
Pamela Herrera Rodriguez. Ana Fuentes Aguirre.
Brooklyn Autumn.
Annette Kajumba.
Kennedy Materney. Tian Rui Yang.
Agam Bansal. Amir Zami Aya.
Noemi Vega. Kashvi Vaistra.
Liam Garcia. Daniel Hensel Para.
Vincent Porras.
Zhenian Liang. Zhuo Chen.
By virtue of the authority vested in me by the President of the University of California, I grant you the degrees Ph.D., J.D., Master of Arts, Master of Sciences, Bachelor of Arts, and Bachelor of Sciences. Congratulations, graduates. You may now move your tassels from right to left. We are so proud of you, and we are so excited about what you're going to do in the world. Fiat Lux and go Bears. Thank you, everyone, for coming.
Thank you, everyone. It has been a wonderful celebration. We ask that all rise as they are able to join the UC Berkeley Jazz Choir to sing the school's alma mater, Hail to California. Immediately following the song, we ask that you please wait for the official party to recess before meeting the graduates out on Speaker Plaza. Congratulations, graduates, and go Bears!
Hail to California, alma mater dear. Sing a joyful chorus, sounding far and near. Rally round her banner, we will never fail. California, alma mater. Hail to California.